Okay, next naman tayo, no? Judgment on the pleadings as compared to summary judgment. So, sinulat na natin bago din i-discuss yung principles, no? So, how do we differentiate the two? No? Una po, ang judgment on the pleadings, remedy lang siya available to the plaintiff. Diba? The answer failed to tender an issue. So, available lang po siyang remedy sa plaintiff. On the other hand, ang summary judgment, available siya sa parehong partido, P or plaintiff or defendant. Second, tandaan niyo po sa judgment on the pleadings, there must be no issue at all. In other words, the answer failed to tender an issue. Dito po sa summary judgment, tandaan niyo to, there was an issue. It's just that the issue is not genuine at all. No? On any material fact, yung MF na yan. So the genuine issue can be false, can be sham, can be falsified, can be fictitious, can be contrived. But there was an issue. So, attorney, paano ba namin malalaman kung may issue o wala ang isang pleading? Titingnan nyo yung allegations ng defendant, no? Plaintiff, yung complaint sa answer. Tingnan natin yung allegations ng answer. Allegations sa answer. No? At pag mukha pong may specific denial, no? Mukha pong may specific denial, mukhang may negative defense, mukhang may affirmative defense, wala po dapat judgment on the pleadings. On the other hand, kung mayroong mang issue, pwede tayong mag-file ng judgment on the pleadings if, from the perspective of the movant, feel niya, in his opinion, sham, false, fictitious, contrived ang issue ni raise ng kalaban niya. Okay? Example, yung plaintiff sabi, unpaid yung debt. Okay, upon demand. So, nag-file siya ng collection suit. Ang allegation, ang response, no? Ang allegations naman ng defendant sa answer niya, unpaid yung debt. Okay? So, the answer failed to tender an issue. So, the remedy is judgment on the pleadings. Tandaan niyo yun, I don't have to zero in pa sa paano magkakaroon ng specific denial. Diba? Tandaan niyo, if wala pong specific denial, okay? General denial ang ginawa. Or kapag pag actionable document, hindi nag-specifically deny under oath. Diba? Ano ang result niyan? I-add with genuineness and due execution ng contract. Anyway, balik tayo dito, no? Kapag walang issue at all, the proper remedy is judgment on the pleadings. Kapag may issue raised, there was an issue raised. But the issue, in the opinion of the movant, yung magka-file ang motion, from his perspective, feel niya, false yung issue na yan, he can file a motion for summary judgment. Okay. O sabihin natin, mag-zero in tayo sa summary judgment, no? So, paano po pag nag-file ng motion yung ating plaintiff? Sabihin natin, parehong plaintiff na lang ang nag-file. Pag nag-file po ng motion for summary judgment yung plaintiff, mag-a-attach po siya ng affidavits, depositions, admissions nung kalaban niya, nung defendant, showing na wala pong genuine issue. Naka-attach po doon. No? So, ano po pinakaiba ng judgment on the pleading sa summary judgment? Yung pong, allegations ng answer. Okay, sabihin natin parang plaintiff na lang ang magpa-file ng motion. Ulitin ko, sa judgment on the pleadings, wala talagang issue. Inadmit o hindi talaga nag-deny specifically. Okay, wala talagang tamang denial na ginawa yung defendant. Sa summary judgment po, mayroong issue. So maganda yung pagkaka-allege ng pleadings ng defendant in his answer. No? So mayroon po talagang issue yung kaso. It's just that from the perspective of the plaintiff, feel niya yung allegations na sinasabi ng defendant, these are false issues. O this is a false issue, a sham issue, a contrived issue, a fictitious issue. File siya ng motion for summary judgment. In his perspective, in his opinion, feel niya hindi. Tama yung ni-raise na issue na yan. See? So pag nakita niyo po sa bar exam, na wala talagang issue kasi hindi nag-specific denial. Sabihin natin ang sinabi ng defendant, wala po akong liability sa plaintiff kasi yung kapitbahay ko wait, wait lang. Gamitin ko na lang pala yung 2019 bar. So, 2019 bar kasi, ang nangyari po dyan, nag-file ng action for damages yung plaintiff. Sabi ng defendant, wala kang liability wala dapat akong liability sa iyo. Kasi sinunod ko lang yung parang gawayan ng contractor ko. So kaya nagkaroon ng damages yung property mo, not because of me, but because of my contractor. Yan ang sabi ng defendant sa kanyang answer. No? Ibig sabihin po nito, usapang ano to, problemang kapitbahay. Problema ng magkapitbahay. Yun ang reply, yun ang response, yun ang answer ng defendant. Tanong, what's the proper remedy, judgment on the pleadings or summary judgment? Judgment on the pleadings. Judgment on the pleadings kasi wala pong specific denial. Hindi mo dininay na hindi ka talaga liable at all dun sa, ang tawag dito, dun sa plaintiff. Nagturo ka lang sa contractor mo. Eh di ba ang contractor agent mo yan? So bound siya, acts ng contractor as an agent, bound yung principal. Who is the principal in this case? Si defendant. So dahil sinabi mo na ang liable yung contractor, edi ikaw ang liable nga. The answer failed to tender an issue. So kung magpa-file po ng summary judgment, yung plaintiff, based on these allegations, sa both pleadings, mali po yung remedy na yun. That is an improper remedy. He should have filed a motion for judgment on the pleadings. Kasi nga wala talagang issue at all. Okay, ulitin ko, ang summary judgment, yan po, option yan. Choice yan ng movant. Sabihin natin, plaintiff, choice niya yan. Feel niya, confident talaga siya na nagsisinungaling yung defendant. Yun ang point ko. Pero may issue dun sa answer. Pero feel niya, sinungaling ang pinag-aasabi niyan, no? Huwag na tayong mag-trial. Sabi niya ganyan, wala nang trial, no? Wala nang further proceedings. Ipapakita ko sa inyo. Magka-file ako ng motion for summary judgment, ipapakita ko sa iyo. Wala, sa defendant. Na false yung sinasabi mo. So mag-a-attach po siya doon sa motion ng admissions, affidavits, depositions. O pag nasatisfy po yung court na oo nga no, there was no genuine issue as to any material fact, yung movant, in this case yung plaintiff, magkakaroon po ng judgment in his favor. Kasi false pala yung pinag-aasabi ng defendant as shown in the affidavits, depositions, admissions. E paano pag yung plaintiff gusto niya talagang mabuo yung kaso niya? Para sure, may issue kasi yung answer may issue na erase yung defendant No problem doon, di ba? Kasi nga, dapat may issue ni erase. May erase talagang issue. Tapos yung plaintiff gusto talaga niyang buuin yung methodically, gradually, buuin niya yung kaso niya to build this case against the defendant. Mag-trial ka. Okay? Pero pag confident ka talaga, this is an option for you. Yun ang point. Dito po, wala nang ganun-ganon. Nakita mo na talaga, obvious na hindi maganda yung pagkakagawa nung answer. Kasi hindi po nagkaroon ng specific denial. No? It was not properly, hindi po proper yung pag-allege ng contentions ng defendant. Wala nang summary judgment kasi magpe-present ako pa ng ebidensya dyan magbibigay ka pa ng deposition, ng affidavit, mag-attach ka pa doon sa motion mo at saka ng admissions to prove na false. Dito wala na. Just checking the pleadings alone. Observing, analyzing, no? The pleadings alone, the complaint and the answer. Makikita na po ng court, no? At nakikita na rin ng plaintiff in his opinion, no? Nakita ng plaintiff in his opinion na wala naman talagang pleading wala naman talagang pleading. Wala naman talagang issue na. Inadmit mo na lahat. Oh, later on, pag sinabi ng court, oo nga, no? You're right. The plaintiff is right. He is correct in his contention na wala na talagang issue at all kasi inamin na nga nung defendant sa kanyang answer. Diba? Kasi what is not specifically denied is deemed admitted. So with that being said, your remedy should be judgment on the pleadings pag no issue. Pero pag may issue may raise, but in the opinion, the perspective of the movant, the party who will file the motion, feel niya false yung issue na yan. Mag-motion for summary judgment ka. And in that motion, you attach your depositions, your affidavits, your admissions. Showing na, false pala issue na ni-raise nung kalaban mo. Okay? Nakita niyo yung pagkakaiba, no? Uulitin ko, pag may issue talaga, huwag kayo magka-file ng motion for summary ng motion for judgment on the pleadings. How can there be an issue? May negative defense o may affirmative defense? Ano ba? A usual, no? A usual negative defense is specific denial. 'Di ba? Hindi yung disavowal of knowledge. That's another negative defense. Pero normally specific denial 'yan. Ano pa yung usual examples ng affirmative defense? Payment, prescription, 'di ba? Extinguished claim, and so on and so forth. Okay? Sige. I hope na-get nyo po, no? Saan magkakatalo? Doon sa inistakan ko. Inistakan ko. Diyan lang magkakatalo talaga. Tapos possibly, ang magiging tanong sa, yan, pinipredict na natin, inistakan ko. Ang possible po na matatanong sa bar, parang ganito. Nag-file ng summary judgment, pero no issue. Or, nag-file ng judgment on the pleadings, but there was an issue. But in the opinion of the plaintiff, false yung issue. Yan ang, para sa akin, no, para lituhin kayo, yan ang possible bar question sa inyo, A and B. Unang question, nag-file ng judgment on the pleadings pero may issue, kaya lang in the opinion of the plaintiff, false yung issue na yan. The remedy should have been summary judgment, basically nag-cross na ganun. Instead na consistent, tumros na ganun, tumalon sa kabilang ilog. Judgment on the pleadings pero may issue. Okay? Other hand naman, pwedeng galing dito sa summary judgment, tumalo naman dito. In both cases, improper yung remedy. So the motion must be denied. Okay? So doon naman tayo sa comparison. Hindi ko na pala isusulat yung comparison. Kunin na lang tayo. No? Ay, isusulat ko na nga. Sige. Okay. Ano po ito? Similarities. Ito. Okay. Tuloy tayo, no? Ayan. Ito po, ano na to? Similarities. Similar, no? Repeats. Yung kanina natin, distinctions, no? Pagkakaiba. Ito, similarities, no? Tandaan nyo po, sa motion for judgment on the pleadings at saka motion for summary judgment, no? May dalawa pong stages yan. Yung una is yung order ng court on the motion. Magpa-file po, sabihin natin si plaintiff na lang ulit, no? Magpa-file si plaintiff ng motion for judgment on the pleadings. That pleading, that motion for judgment on the pleadings, yung motion na yon, pwedeng i-grant ng court, di ba? Pwedeng i-deny. Ito po yung order. Okay? Order, granted. Order, denied yung motion mo. That is the first stage. What's the second stage? Yung actual judgment ng court. Okay? Later on yan. Later on po mag-issue ang court ng actual judgment. Okay? Based on the pleadings. Okay? Yung una, yung motion, igagrant po, i-deny ng court. Diba? Sa judgment on the pleadings. O di pag dinina yung motion na yon, we proceed with the case. Okay? O sabihin natin na grant po yung motion. Later on, may mag-order na granted, sabihin natin. And then later on, magkakaroon ng actual judgment. Same thing po sa kabila. No? Ito po, mas ma-illustrate natin yung pagkakaiba ng dalawa. Di ba, magka-file sabihin natin yung plaintiff ng motion for summary judgment. That motion, may naka-attach po dyan na affidavits, admissions, depositions, no, ng parties. After po no, after mag-file ng motion na naka-attach yung deposition, admission, affidavits, bibigyan po ng tsansa yung kabilang partido na mag-file ng opposition. Yung opposition, mayroon ding deposition, mayroon ding admission, mayroon ding affidavits. May back and forth pa based on that motion. O later on, yung motion, magkakaroon na ng order yung court doon sa motion. Pwedeng grant, pwedeng denied. Based po sa motion at saka sa opposition ng kalabang partido. Iba po yan yung actual judgment, actual summary judgment. Later on yun. Okay? Ang mauna muna dyan, yung order. What kind of order is this? Interlocutory order. Interlocutory. Kabila din, ganun. Interlocutory. Both instances. Both of them are interlocutory orders. Okay. That's why, pupunta tayo dun sa amendment to sa 2019. 2019 amendment to sa civil procedure. Dati itong action, the action of the court on the motion, di ba? For judgment on the pleadings or action of the court on the motion for summary judgment not subject to appeal or certiorari, prohibition, or mandamus. May nakalagay dyan, di ba? Let's make sense of this. Why? Or what are we talking about here? Diyan. Ano pinag-uusapan natin dito? Ano yung pinag-uusapan natin dito? Yung pong una na to, yung interlocutory order. Number two, for both instances, for both rules, we are talking about the interlocutory order in this case. Okay? We're talking about the interlocutory order. O, sabi ng court, okay, granted yung motion for summary judgment. Granted yung motion for judgment on the pleadings. That order of the court granting the motion, hindi siya appealable. Hindi na siya pwedeng certiorari, prohibition, mandamus. Okay? However, yung actual judgment, yan, appealable yan. Kasi judgment on the merits yan. Sana nagiget nyo. Ito pong actual judgment, no? Actual judgment, this is appealable. Okay? Huwag na natin pakialaman yung MR kasi hihirap pa. No? Anyway, pwede kayong mag-MR whether actual judgment o interlocutory order. Kasi wala naman sinabi sa rules na bawal ng MR. Wala nga ako nabasa sa rules ng 34 at saka ng 35 about MR eh. Okay? Anyway, okay na tayo doon. Ang sinasabi ko, yung actual judgment, o later on, nagkaroon na ng judgment, panalo si plaintiff, o yun ang sabi sa judgment. On the merits yan, malamang, no? Kasi tapos na kay kaso eh. Walang issue daw eh. Di ba? Yun, appealable po yun. Or kung may grave abuse of discretion, sabihin natin, and appeal is not an available remedy, 65. Same thing sa summary judgment. No? Hindi kinonsider, yung may grave abuse of discretion, sige, 65. Kung wala, appeal. Hindi pala, ganun. Appeal, di ba? Appeal ang remedy pag dito sa kabila. Sabihin natin, later on, walang appeal, tapos grave abuse of discretion, 65. Anyway, for the most part naman, probably appeal na magiging remedy dyan kasi judgment na to eh. Okay, hindi naman na, hindi naman na, hindi pa interlocutory order yan. Kasi normally po, ang Rule 65, ang certiorari, talagang ginagamit na remedy yan for interlocutory orders. Pero sabi nga po, sa Rule 34 and Rule 35, ano man ang act ng court, whether granted or denied yung motion, order, di ba, interlocutory order yan. Hindi siya subject to appeal, hindi siya subject to Rule 65, certiorari prohibition mandamus. Okay? Malamang hindi mo pwedeng i-appeal yung interlocutory order na to ng court kasi nga, interlocutory siya. That's not unappealable, di ba? That is not unappealable subject as provided under Rule 41. Ako, nag-correlate na, nahilo na tayo. To recap everything, okay? Sa Rule 34 po, saka sa Rule 35, may dalawang i-issue ang court dyan. Yung order granting or denying the motion for summary judgment, motion for judgment on the pleadings. It's the first thing that they will issue. The next thing is the actual judgment. Whether panalo na yung plaintiff o panalo yung defendant. Okay. Ano po yung tinutukoy sa Rule 34 at saka sa Rule 35 na hindi pwedeng i-appeal at hindi pwedeng i-Rule 65? Yung order. Okay. Kalimutan nyo na interlocutory muna. No? Sa taas na to, kalimutan nyo muna itong sinulat ko na yan. Yung order na yan on the motion, whether granted or denied, hindi ka pwedeng mag-appeal, hindi ka pwedeng mag-Rule 65. Why? Para hindi na humaba. Kasi pag pwede ka mag-65 dyan at napa-injunction yun sa higher court, tatagal pa ng tatagal yung kaso. Na-defeat po yung purpose ng pagpa-file ng judgment on the pleadings at saka ng summary judgment. Gusto nga natin quick yung kaso, mas mabilis, matatapos. Na-defeat the purpose kasi nga 65 matapos in-injunction ng higher court. Na-defeat yung purpose. Right? Kaya po nilagay yan. No? Para mabigyan talaga ng kahulugan, ng meaning, yung pagiging mabilis nitong remedy na to. Dahil hindi mo pwedeng i-appeal, hindi mo pwedeng i-Rule 65 yung pinaka-order do sa motion. O later, pag yung court nag-issue na talaga, nag-promulgate na ng judgment talaga, actual judgment, hindi interlocutory order actual judgment na, whether judgment on the pleadings or summary judgment, yun ang i-appeal mo. Pwede tapos ang usapan, 'di ba? Hindi bumagal, hindi po na obstruct, hindi pala obstruct, hindi po na delay. Yan. Yung judgment ng trial court. Hindi tumagal. 'Di ba? If you have something to say against that judgment of the court, i-appeal mo. Ganon. Yan ang po ang point niyan, no? Yan ang gusto kong i-point out na similarity nila. Okay, tandaan niyo, two stages yan. Two acts. Dalawang actions ng court dyan. Yung action do sa order at saka yung actual judgment. The action of the court on the motion that is not subject to appeal, not subject to certiorari, prohibition, mandamus. But the actual judgment itself, appealable. Okay? We're good. Move tayo. Sada tayo. Natakal na natin yung relief. Kahapon sa kay ano, annulment of judgment. Appeals, certiorari. Sige. Okay, next. Appeals. Certiorari. So, ano po yung mga appeals? Diba? Rule 40, Rule 41, Rule 40, okay, nakawit ako. Rule 42, Rule 43, Rule 45. O, sa certiorari tayo, dalawa yan. Alagay po sa syllabus. Rule 64, Rule 65. Okay, dito muna tayo. Ang pagkumparahin po muna natin yung sa appeals. No? Appeals muna tayo, no? Hindi ako gagawa ng uh, flowchart, no? We will make things shorter, no? O, ang Rule 40 po, MTC to RTC. Diba? Ito isa naman, RTC to CA. Okay? And the RTC exercise original jurisdiction. Okay? Next, RTC to CA and the RTC exercise its appellate jurisdiction. So basically po, ang Rule 42 pangatlong korte na yung CA, pangatlo na siya. Okay? Rule 43, quasi-judicial agency in general, no? To Court of Appeals. Okay? In general, no? Of course, may mga exceptions na. Like, halimbawa, NLRC. Ang decision po ng NLRC, nakalagay po sa rules nila, final and executory. So, di Rule 43 ang magiging remedy mo para iakyat yung kaso to the Court of Appeals. The remedy is you file a Rule 65 petition. Kasi yun ang sabi eh. Pero pag voluntary arbitrator yan, nag-rule, quasi-judicial agency treatment natin doon pag voluntary arbitrator or arbitrators. CA Rule 43. Something like that. Ombudsman, administrative case ng ombudsman. Sabi, penalty is suspension. 1 year. O, di ba? Timing ngayon yung suspension na yan. O, sabi nung ombudsman, ganun. What's your remedy kung ikaw public officer? Ito, Rule 43 to the Court of Appeals. Kasi ano po yan, administrative case yun. Hindi po yun yung power of the ombudsman to investigate. Hindi naman preliminary investigation yung ginawa ng ombudsman eh. Ruling yun eh. Nasuspendido itong tao na to eh. Anyway, let's move, no? Ito naman Rule 45, Supreme Court. Okay? Walang Supreme Court. Wag ganun. Lower Court. Okay, in general. Lower Court to the Supreme Court. Okay. Simple lang yan, di ba? Ang appeal period nito una, yung mga extension, kayo na lang ang mag-ano niyan, no? Hindi naman na siguro tayo tatanong doon sa extension. 15 days, di ba? 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. Okay, meron na record on appeal dun sa 40 saka 41. So, magkakaroon ng 30. Ay, yan. Okay, pangit naman ng 30 na yun. Sige, readable naman. Okay. Pag sinabi mo record on appeal, 30 days. Ba't ka mag-record on appeal? Because the case allows for multiple appeals. Okay? Example, settlement of estate. Marami po kasing stages yan. In each stage, is appealable even if the case is still proceeding. Okay, sabihin natin, nagkaroon na ng decision as to the allowance of the will. No? The will is duly executed, no? Walang defects, no? May hindi incapacitated yung testator at the time of the execution of the will. Appealable 'yun. Pero 'di ba, may next stage pa after that eh. No, na after malaman, 'yun i-determine na may sa ano pa, no, yung sa creditors, 'di ba? Who are the creditors? Who are the heirs, di ba? I-determine pa yan lahat, no? These are other stages ng settlement of estate. But yung allowance ng will, that is already appealable. Ang gagawin mo dyan, record on appeal. Okay? 30 days po yan. So ano po ipapile na kaso nun? Ano ipapile mo na appeal? Tandaan nyo pag 15 days, ang ipafile mo lang, notice of appeal. Okay? Kapag 30 days, hindi lang record on appeal ang sasabihin nyo ang ipa-file po nung appellant is notice of appeal and record on appeal. Dalawa. Tandaan nyo yan O, sabihin natin, magkapali siya ng what's the proper remedy to appeal the ruling of the court allowing the will, di ba? Of the deceased testator. Malamang. Okay, deceased. Okay. Yan. No? Ganun ang tanong po, no? Sasabihin nyo, he can file a record on appeal, a notice of appeal and record on appeal with the Court of Appeal, sabihin natin, within 30 days from the notice, di ba, of judgment, of the ruling. Okay? Hindi lang record on appeal, lalagyan nyo ng notice of appeal din doon sa sagot nyo, no? Sana po naintindihan. Okay? Available lang po yung record on appeal na yan in two stages. In two rules. 40 and 41. Yung kasing 42 and 43, petition for review. PETREV. No? PETREV din. Itong 43. O yun naman kasing rule 45 po, petition for review on certiorari. So, PETREV certiorari. Diba? Magkakaiba po ang pangalan nila. O ngayon, attorney, ano pa yung pwedeng isa nating anggulo na itanong dito? Where will you file a notice of appeal? Or a notice of appeal in record on appeal with the with the court of ano tawag yung court? In the court where the case is pending. Ayun. You will file this in the court where di pala where the case is pending. The court which rendered the judgment. Ano ba yan? Nakalito pa ako. The court which rendered the judgment. Di ba? Being assailed. On the other hand, ang PETREV 42 at saka 43, you will file this sa appellate court, sa AC. Diba? Where you will appeal the case. O, di malamang to, petition for review and certiorari sa Supreme Court ipapile. Okay? Now that that's settled, mas maglalagay pa ako ng another principle dito na mas technical para sa lahat, no? Which is yung question of law, question of fact, and mixed question of law and fact. Okay? Hindi ko to kaya gawin dati nung ano pa ako, naka-whiteboard lang ako sa laptop. Kasi maliit yung whiteboard sa Zoom. Tignan mo ngayon, ang laki na ng gamit natin. Much better. Okay. Next tayo, no? Dito tayo sa next topic, no? So, dito sa taas, ayan. Question of law. Question of fact. Mix. Law and fact. Okay? Attorney. Galing po, So, burahin ko muna lahat ng Rule 40 and so on na to. Ay, sige po pala. Taka natin dyan. What I'm trying to point out here is yung interplay ng Rule 45, petition for review and certiorari, and the other remedies. Yun yung gusto kong i-point out dito. No? Just to clarify this to to all of us. No? So, sabihin natin, attorney, sa madali muna tayo. Okay. Sa question of fact muna. Attorney, I would like to raise questions of fact sa appeal ko. In my appeal. Okay? I would like to raise question of fact only. The court which rendered the judgment against me na i-appeal ko, MTC. What's my remedy? Rule 40. Okay? Notice of appeal to the RTC. Ay, notice of appeal, you filed the notice of appeal sa MTC, RTC ang appellate court. Yan ang ibig ko sabihin dyan. Okay? Next. Attorney, question of fact lang din po, natalo ko sa RTC level, original jurisdiction. Question of fact lang. What's my remedy? Rule 41. CA. Where will you file the notice of appeal? Sa RTC. File here, di ba? File here. Okay, file here. Okay, you get the point. Next, question of fact lang din. Natalo ko sa RTC in the exercise of its appellate jurisdiction. In the exercise of its appellate jurisdiction, natalo ko sa RTC. Where will you file the case? Rule 42 naman, di ba? CA. You will file here. Kasi Petrem. Di ba? Yung po una nating two remedy sa 41 at saka sa 40, you file the notice of appeal do sa court which rendered the judgment. Petrem na tayo dito dahil appellate jurisdiction yung appellate jurisdiction yung RTC, Petrem ka na to the Court of Appeals. You file the petition for review sa Court of Appeals. O next, quasi-judicial agency. Petrem din, di ba? Ganun, same. File here. File here. O attorney, paano pag pwede ba ako question of fact lang? Can I file a petition for review on certiorari? The answer is no. Diba? Kasi ang Rule 45 po, only questions of law ang pwede mo i-raise. So, Rule 45 is an improper remedy as a general rule. Hayaan nyo ni exceptions. No? Sa general rule na lang tayo. Ang usual naman pong exception na ginagamit sa mga cases, yung the, the findings of facts, no, of the Court of Appeals and the trial court are conflicting or are opposite to each other. Pag ganun yung sinabi, pwedeng yung pong Supreme Court, kahit na ang general rule is question of law lang, pwede pong mag-hear. Pwede mag-hear. I-decide po niya, itatry niya yung questions of fact din. Nila, no? Ng Supreme Court po, ng institution. Ng Honorable Supreme Court, yung wait lang. Yung kaso, kahit na questions of fact lang ang inallege, no? Okay, so next point tayo, no? Attorney, what if mixed questions of fact and law? Mix. Questions of fact and questions of law. Same din. Same. Pero mababago lang po yung dulo. No? Ito. Actually, hindi. Pareho pala. Okay. X din. Kasi mali, ang mangyayari dyan, ang magiging presumption dyan, hindi pina-follow nung, di ba, appeal is a statutory right. So, the appellant must strictly comply with the provisions provided under the rules. Kapag nag-mix question of fact and law ka, nag-file ka ng petition for review and certiorari with the Supreme Court, ang mangyayari dyan, pwedeng i-dismiss outright ng Supreme Court po yung petition mo kasi you did not follow the rules. Ang sabi sa rules, questions of law lang po. Kasi nga, the Supreme Court is not a trier of facts as a general rule. So with that being said, ang mangyayari, hindi rin pwede. Tama, same lang din. Pag mixed questions of fact, mixed questions of fact and law. Same remedies yan lahat. Same scenarios lahat. Yan ang sagot. Okay? Ito po, nakita nyo ha, file here, file here. Ayan. File here, file here. Yung petition for review, sinamarize ko lahat ng sinabi ko kanina. Sana po na-get nyo. No? Huwag kayong magugulo. O last, bubuhayin ko lahat to kasi bago talaga, iba talaga ang treatment for this one. O last, paano pa pag pure questions of law lang? Wala question of fact. Pure question of law lang ang sinabi. How do we interpret this provision of the law? Galing sa MTC. Where will you file the case? Tandaan nyo to, Supreme Court agad. Rule 45. So where will you file the case? File here. Next, RTC, same thing. Rule 45. Supreme Court, file here. Attorney, pure question of law. Ayan na. Eto na tayo. Medyo may kakaiba ha. Pag RTC tapos appellate jurisdiction, question of law lang ang i-raise natin sa decision ng RTC in the exercise of its appellate jurisdiction. Where will you file the case? The answer is Rule 42 pa din to the CA. File here. Remember that. Pwede po ang pure questions of law. Nakalagay po yan sa BP 129. Pwede ang pure questions of law. RTC, appellate jurisdiction to the Court of Appeals. File here. Lastly, paano pag quasi-judicial agency? Tapos pure questions of law lang. CA pa din po. Rule 43. File here. Nasa Rule 43 po yan specifically nakalagay dyan. Questions of law or fact or both. Eh malamang Supreme Court. Ade diba? Pwede. Yan naman talaga ang yan naman po talaga ang hinihear talaga tinatry ng Supreme Court questions of law. Nakita niyo yung interplay ha. Balikan niyo na lang yung iba ko sinabi pag question of fact, pag mixed question of fact and law, pareho sila. Question of law, pure questions of law, nag-iba po ang treatment. Saan nag-iba? Tandaan niyo to dito sa MPC at saka sa RTC. Ito original jurisdiction, di ba? Orig. The first two na yun, inistakan ko. Diyan po nagbago. Rekta, diretso Supreme Court agad. Hindi sila mag-Rule 40, hindi po mag-Rule 41. Mawawala po yung Notice of Appeal. At saka yung Notice of Appeal and Record on Appeal, mawawala. Will be gone. Rule 45 ang papalit. Okay? Sige. Move tayo. O ngayon, with that being said, I think I've addressed everything naman dito sa appeals. Let's relate na yung appeals, no, itong mga sinulat natin sa Rule 64 and 65. Rule 64, certiorari din, di ba? But, judgment of dalawang bodies lang. COMELEC, COA. Ito, certiorari. Di ba? Ano po itong certiorari mo? Pwedeng Orders. Pwedeng interlocutory orders, no? Interloco. Pwede na lang, interloco na lang. Ayan. Pwedeng judgments din. By whom? Bodies in general. Pwedeng tribunals, di ba? Court, no? And so on. Bodies, and agencies, and so on. Okay? Commissions. Paghambingin po muna natin yung Rule 64 at saka 65. Ang una pong pagkakaiba niyan, huwag kayo agad pupunta sa COMELEC saka sa COA. Ang una pong pagkakaiba niyan, ang Rule 64, limited po siya sa judgment, final order, resolution. Ang Rule 65 po, pwede interlocutory order, pwede judgment. So, attorney, paano kapag yung COMELEC nag-issue ng interlocutory order? What's my remedy kung gusto kong i-assail ng interlocutory order? Rule 65 to the Supreme Court. Tandaan niyo yan. Kasi nga, ang Rule 64, huwag mo sabihin 64 ha, kasi nga po ang 64, it is limited to judgments. This is an interlocutory order. Since it is an interlocutory order, Rule 65 certiorari ka. Okay? O attorney, paano pag final judgment naman? O di Rule 64 ka na to the Supreme Court. Okay? That's the first thing na gusto kong ipag-ano sa atin. Huwag niyo sasabihin na lahat ng actions ng COMELEC in the exercise of its quasi-judicial powers, matik, Rule 64, that's wrong. Tama naman, na Supreme Court talaga ang mag-review lagi. No? The Supreme Court will always be the reviewing body. Reviewing court sa ginawa ng COMELEC. However, iba po yung remedy. Depende kung interlocutory order or final judgment. Bakit po natin kailangan malaman kung Rule 64 o 65 ang kailangang i-file, no, ng petitioner? Unang-una malamang, pag mali ka ng remedy final, i-dismiss yan outright. Diba? The petition will be dismissed outright because it is the wrong remedy. That's the first thing. Another thing is yung pong period. Yan, pinasok na natin. Ang 64, 30 days. Ang 65, 60 days. Okay? Next, yung fresh period rule. Sa 64, none. 65, applicable, di ba? Ang fresh period rule. In case na mag-MR. Di ba? Nag-MR, no? Pwede na yung MR. Sa 64 ba, may fresh period rule? Babalik ulit sa 30 days, mag-refresh ba? The answer is no. Di ba? He can file, the petitioner can file the petition under Rule 64 within the remaining period, which must not be less than 5 days. In any case, sabihin natin yung motion for reconsideration na i-file nung natalo on the 29th day. O later on, pag natalo siya, natanggap niya yung denial ng MR niya, may 5 days pa siya. On the other hand po, kapag petition for certiorari yan, kahit na 59th day niya final yan, kapag yung MR, no? Pag na-deny yan, natanggap niya yung denial niya, mayroon pa siyang 60 ulit. Okay? Anyway, sa similarities naman tayo, no? In both instances, wait lang. Wait lang. Ah. O sa similarities naman tayo, no? In both instances po, dapat yung ground, no? Yung ground is grave abuse, di ba? Of discretion, amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. O ngayon, ito po, isa pang pagkakaiba pala. Sa ground, pareho lang, no? Grave abuse. No, hindi question of law, hindi question of fact, mixed question of law and fact, hindi po. For both 64 and 65, no, grave abuse. No, in the case of ito, Maritime Industry Authority versus COA. O ngayon, isa pong pagkakaiba pa nila, sa 64, hindi kailangan ng no appeal or other speedy adequate plain remedy. No? Not needed yun, yung APSA na tinatawag natin. No appeal or other speedy, plain, adequate remedy, hindi po kailangan yun. Sa 65, kailangan. That there must be no appeal or no other plain, speedy, adequate remedy. Kailangan po sa 65, sa 64, hindi po. Bakit? What's the wisdom? Kasi nga po itong 64, ito nga yung primary remedy talaga kapag may judgment na si COMELEC o si COA. Di ba? Huwag niyo na lang ilalagay ito sa ano sa sagot nyo. Pero di ba, parang yung 64 po ang appeal ng natalo sa COMELEC, sa final order ng COMELEC. Ito remedy mo eh. So in other words, in a different perspective, no, from a different perspective, parang ito appeal. Okay? O ngayon, dun sa pag Civil Service Commission, hindi naman siya covered ng Rule 60, hindi naman po sila covered ng Rule 64, di ba? Ang remedy mo sa judgment ng Civil Service Commission, appeal. Petition for review to the Court of Appeals under Rule 43. So basically, parang ito naman yung sa COA saka sa COMELEC. It's just that Supreme Court na po ang mag-review ng decision. No, kaya po, to circle back, to go back sa original point ko, hindi po available, hindi po kailangan na no appeal and other plain speedy remedy adequate, rather plain speedy adequate remedy. Hindi po siya kailangan sa 64, pero 65 kailangan siya. Okay? I hope nabanggit ko naman na lahat ng important factors here. Okay? So ngayon, last point natin for all, no? Sa lahat ng nabanggit. No? What does no appeal, di ba? What does no appeal mean under Rule 65? Hindi po ibig sabihin, hindi talaga pwede mag-file ng appeal or wala ng appeal. Ang ibig ko sabihin niyan, appeal is an inadequate remedy. Kahit na available ng appeal, that remedy of appeal will not totally address, no, yung it will totally address yung relief, no, prayed for by the petitioner, no, kasi certiorari nga ipa-file niya. Bigyan natin ng example. Sabihin natin, nag-trial, ando naman yung counsel nung defendant, no? Ando naman yung counsel niya, kompleto na may ebidensya ang dala niya, umattend siya ng pre-trial, no? Sinunod naman niya lahat ng dapat sundin during the proceedings. Kaya lang hindi po siya hinayaan ng judge, no, na mag-present ng evidence niya, no? And on the same day, nag-rule po yung judge in favor of the plaintiff. Final judgment. Di ba, may final judgment na. So, dapat appeal na ang remedy mo, di ba? However, appeal would not be an adequate remedy for him. Why? Kasi if he will just appeal the case, he will also lose the appeal. Kasi, pag binasa natin yung records nung kaso, wala siyang evidence na pinresent. Di ba? So, all of the evidence in the records are from all of the piece of evidence, no? On the record are from the plaintiff. In this case, the appellee. Kung mag-a-appeal siya. That is an inadequate remedy for him kasi talo siya dun. So what should be his remedy? Dapat mag-certiorari siya. Alleging that the judge, no, the lower court, committed grave abuse of discretion. Because he should have been allowed to present his case. Diba? Na-violate yung kanyang right to due process. So even if appeal is an available remedy, kasi nga may judgment na, may final judgment na, that was inadequate to address yung kanyang hinihinging relief. So dapat ang i-file niya, petition for certiorari. Kasi ang kailangan niya, what he needs or what he seeks, yung natalo sa kaso, is to remand the case to the lower court for a new trial. Basically, bagong trial, wag hindi po motion. Sabihin natin, pati motion for new trial niya, denied, malamang, no? Denied. Okay. Ang hinihingi po niya, ma-remand yung case to the lower court for further proceedings. Maitama natin yung procedure. I-accord nyo sa akin yung due process ko. Yun ang hinihingi nung natalo sa kaso. Certiorari is the proper remedy. Diba? Even if appeal is available, it was inadequate. So that is not the proper remedy to address this issue. But a petition for certiorari. Let's move to criminal procedure.